Episode 435. The host got distracted again and was immediately yelled at twice by the director in the control room. The pro players waited and waited, but the truth never came. In the end, they could only turn to each other and start speculating.
It's him. It's definitely him.
Huang Shaotian said to Yu Wenzhou.
Going to the bathroom. You buy that? He obviously didn't want to be seen and slipped away.
Yeah, he's pretty experienced at this game of hide and seek. We probably won't find him.
Yu Wenzhou gave a slight nod.
Dragon's head rise.
Huang Shaotian muttered as he watched the replay on the screen, then glanced over at Excellent Era's side. Sun Xiang wore an expression like he'd just eaten shit.
That's a total slap in the face. Is this guy in cahoots with Han Wenqing?
Using Dragon's Rise at that moment was perfectly normal.
Yu Wenzhou, however, just said it plainly. There were plenty of players in Team Tyranny, Team Tiny Herb, and many other teams who knew Yi Chu. At that moment, they were all looking up at the replay looping on the electronic screen.
The dragon raises its head.
Han Wenqing thought to himself. It was a technique he hadn't used once in 2 years. For it to suddenly appear now, at this moment of intense scrutiny, was it really just a coincidental tactical choice? The dragon raises its head. It's a declaration that he won't bow down, isn't it? It was a declaration of his eventual return. Yet, for many more pro players, this quiet retreat only served to confirm that the challenger was indeed Ye Chu. Only that guy would pull a stunt like this. But talk is just talk. In the end, it wasn't really a big deal. It's just that no one had been mentally prepared for it, so the shock hit them hard. By now, Yi Chu had already slipped away, just as he did after every league match. A dragon glimpsed only by its head, never its tail, leaving behind only his staggering record of achievements. Poor Du Ming. Du Ming had returned to his seat, looking as if he'd lost his soul. Many of them expressed sympathy, but they were just spectators enjoying the show. Sure, they were shocked and startled, but who among them could truly compare to Du Ming, the one who had been in the thick of it? What was supposed to be a light-hearted interaction with a regular player ended up leaving Du Ming utterly devastated. When he returned to his team, he was so out of it that it took him a good long while to respond whenever someone spoke to him, as if he'd been possessed by Zhou Zikai. Every corner of the venue was buzzing with the name Yi Chu. The host had no choice but to grit his teeth and push on with the scheduled program, inviting a second pro player up for the interactive segment. The applause that followed was scattered and half-hearted. It was painfully obvious nobody's heart was in it. Tang Rou had already returned to her seat. The audience's attention was still fixed on her, even more so than on the new professional player who had just taken the stage. Chen Guo had finally stopped standing there like a statue. She was sitting now. Seeing Tang Rou return, she looked up at her blankly and asked,
"Where is he?" "He's already left."
Tang Rou said this while looking around. All the surrounding spectators were staring this way. The spectator sitting next to Tang Rou leaned over to ask,
Ezitati E. Ko.
The silence was absolute. Everyone was waiting for Tang Ru's answer.
"Let's go."
Shen Guo shot to her feet and pulled Tang Rou out the door. The spectators couldn't very well stop them, and could only watch helplessly as the two ignored them and hurried away. On the stage, the host was drawing a lucky challenger to come up, but at this moment, who even cared about that? The All-Star Weekend festivities continued, but Yi Chu had already walked alone, in silence, onto the street outside the venue. This was a familiar scene for him. After all these years as a pro, he'd always been the one to slip away early, alone. He never attended a single press conference, whether before or after a match. As glory grew year after year, the spotlight on it intensified. The media's pursuit of Ye Chu became more relentless than ever. To have remained hidden for so long, the sheer difficulty of pulling off that miracle was no less than building a dynasty itself. Yi Chu looked back at the towering esports stadium. From the outside, it blazed with light, making any single person seem so small in comparison. Yi Chu sighed to himself, turned around, and prepared to continue walking toward the hotel. That's when he spotted a girl sitting on the roadside guardrail up ahead, a large telescope hanging from her neck, waving at him.
"Impressive. You actually got here before I did."
Yi Chu walked forward to greet them. Su Mucheng smiled, hopping down from the railing. She was still bundled up from head to toe, with a big hat and a large mask. Anyone but a close acquaintance like Ye Shu would have had a hard time recognizing her.
Is the match over? Let's go get some ice cream.
Su Mucheng said. Ye Shu was taken aback.
Oh, is that shop still open?
Yeah, it's open.
Su Mucheng raised her binoculars and peered across the street.
Take a look.
With that, she handed the binoculars over to Yishu. Yishu leaned in for a look. Sure enough, across the street, behind the Samsara competition venue, on that small side street, the modest ice cream shop was still lit up.
It's winter now.
Winter's perfect. It won't melt as fast, so we can take our time eating it.
All right, let's go.
Yishu said helplessly. Su Mucheng immediately climbed back onto the railing and vaulted over.
Mind your manners.
Yishu grumbled as he slowly, laboriously completed the climb. He crossed the street and entered the small lane. The little ice cream shop was just as it always had been. 4 small tables for 2, with handwritten price tags stuck into the various flavors of ice cream in the freezer case. The shopkeeper was a man in his 40s. Seeing a customer enter, he didn't offer a warm greeting, but he wasn't coldly indifferent either. He simply stepped up to the ice cream case and stood there, waiting for an order.
I'll have this one, this one, this one, and this one. A quarter portion of each, please.
Su Mucheng made her selections with practiced ease.
Sure.
The shopkeeper said, taking a large cup and filling it evenly with a quarter of each flavor. He then placed a small spoon on top and handed it to Su Mucheng. Then the shopkeeper cast an inquiring look toward Ye Shu.
Is it okay if I smoke?
Sure.
Seeing that Ye Shu wasn't going to patronize the business, they stopped paying him any mind.